What's going on, Genius Nation? Welcome to a brand new day, a day that you've never seen before, a day that you will never see again. As I tell you, every day is a gift waiting for you to open it up and take full advantage of it. Welcome to the Daily Genius. I am Dr. Will, and as always, super excited that you are here vibing with us, rocking with us inside the nation, whether you're doing that live, whether you're doing that on the replay. I appreciate you. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscription button, notification, so you know whenever we go live. I appreciate you as well. Well, if you've been rocking with us on this journey, you know we're on this journey of showing up live 365 days consecutively. This is day number 218. Can you believe it? We're over 200 days of showing up consistently, connecting with you to provide you with tips, tools, and strategies to assist you in becoming a better version of yourself and creating a life that you love. So if you've been rocking with us on Saturdays, you know what we like to do. Saturday is our review day, right? Saturday is our review day where we rewind, we review, and we repair anything from the previous week that needs to be repaired. We want to make sure, did we hit all of our goals? Did we do what we said we were going to do? And so on Saturdays, that's what we do. We take out that time, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on what your schedule looks like, just to review. You know, when I was in the Army, they taught me what gets measured, number one, gets done, and what gets measured gets fixed. And so if we're not measuring, if we're not evaluating what we're doing, how can we track our progress? So that's what we like to do on Saturdays. But today, along with that thought, I want to talk to you about time. And when I talk about time, I'm more specifically talking about how much time are you playing with? How much time are you playing with? You know, in an all-perfect world, if you can kind of say, you know what, I want to tap out of this life at age 80, age 90, age 100, in an all-perfect world, if you could do that, then I want you to think about, from that number, whatever your tap-out number is, how much time are you playing with? How much time are you playing with? For me, and once again, this is all relative in terms of none of us know exactly when our last day is, but this is what I always tell my clients. If you plan to be here, then plan to be here. Meaning, if you plan to reach the age of 70, you should be planning for it. If you plan to reach the age of 80, you should be planning for it. If you plan to reach the age of 90, you should be planning for it. So if you plan to be here, plan, right? So for me, when I look at my numbers, and I'm a numbers guy. So when I look at my numbers, I have a son that is 14 years old. So when I think about him and him having a family and him having children, and this is all speculative, right? This is all, I don't know if it's going to happen this way or not, but in my time framing, I've already time framed when I think he'll have his last kid and all like that. So for me to be able to see, which I want to do, for me to be able to see my last grandkid reach the age and graduate from high school, for my last grandkid, just in my mind, I would have to be 87 years old. So for me, that's 39 years from now. That's 39 years from now. So I'm asking myself, how much time am I playing with? So let's just say I wanted to live until I was 90. Let's just say I wanted to live until I was 90. So now I need to ask myself, how much time am I playing with, right? How much time am I playing with? That's 42 years from now. 42 years. So now I have 42 years. So now what I begin to do is ask myself, okay, I don't want to work until the day I die. So what does that look like? And I start looking at these time frames. So let's say I want to work, until I'm a healthy 75, and then, my dream would just be to get out of here, die in my sleep. That's what I'm planning for. And so I ask myself all these types of questions. if I just want to live until I die, what do I need to start doing today, right? How healthy do I need to start eating today? What type of exercises do I need to start doing today so when I'm 75, I'm still flexible? I can still bend over and tie my shoestrings. These are things that I think about all the time when I think about how much time am I working with. When I think about, we just had our first grandbaby. So I think about that. Thankfully, I still have the mobility in my body. I can play with her, but when I look at the older ones, like for my son, he's only 14 right now. So when he starts having kids, if he's 14, put a 10 to 12 range on that. So 10 to 12 years from now, I'm 60. Well, what type of 60-year-old do I want to be? What type of 60-year-old do I want to be? How flexible do I want to be? Do I want to be able to walk at the amusement park with my grandkids? Well, you need to start thinking about that stuff right now. Do I want to be able to fly? And do I want to be able to still travel, right, under my own assistance? I think about those things right now because the longer or the earlier you can start thinking about these things, the more time you have to prepare. So just like for me, once again, 12 years from now, I'll be 60. So for me, I have 12 years to get in great, amazing shape, right? I have 12 years. And so I can't wait until I get 59 and start saying, hey, I want to make sure I'm flexible. I want to make sure that I don't have arthritis and all that type of stuff. Or what can I do today to kind of quell that, right? And so am I studying about that? Dementia, Alzheimer's. What are some things that I can do today that can kind of prevent that from happening? Is there something I can do? So I'm studying those types of things, right? My cognizant skills and all that type of stuff. Am I still writing, right? We do a lot with our phones and things like that. And so we're not really doing writing and we're not really working all areas of our brains. And so that's why I still color. I do word puzzles, and I'm doing all of that stuff in my 40s in efforts and in hopes that, right, we can kind of, prolong any of that other type of stuff. And so that's what I would challenge you to do, as well as reviewing your week. Start reviewing what you want your life to look like 10, 20, 30 years from now. What are you really playing? How much time are you really playing with? And once again, if you plan to be here, then plan to be here. And so for me, I look at people that are 65, 70, and I ask myself, man, do I like how they're living? Do I like, when I go to my doctor's office and I look and I see people that are kind of hunched over, I ask myself, man, if they would have did something different 20 years earlier, would that have made a difference? And so these are the types of questions I ask my doctor as well. What type of stretches can I be doing? What type of exercises should I be doing to make sure that I still have good joint movement when I get into my 60s and 70s? And so the earlier you start thinking about this type of stuff, the better you can be prepared for it. So that's what I have for you guys today. As I always tell you, go out there and be your brilliant, amazing, genius self. Make someone else smile and laugh as you make yourself smile and laugh. And go out there and dominate, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow for the Daily Genius.